Lauren here with another podcast, Level Up with Lauren. I am super excited to have an amazing guest here with me today, RC, also known as Go Hard. So thank you so much for being here and welcome.
I appreciate the time.
Of course. So
thank you for the invite.
Of course. And thank you so much for making time to be here. So I have an icebreaker question I want to ask you.
We're going to start off with that.
Yes, we are. So tell us one interesting thing about yourself that most people don't know.
One interesting thing? There's a lot of stuff. I like fast cars. I like shoes. A lot of people don't know that I was going to play basketball overseas until I tore my Achilles. Yeah, I tore my Achilles, so hoop dreams is over after that. But, yeah, that's just the interesting thing. I love being a dad.
Definitely could see that.
Yeah,
that's definitely inspiring, to have your daughter there and be able to see how you're growing personally, and then she'll use that for herself when she grows up. Well, awesome.
Gotta be the example.
Definitely. Okay. So first of all, I want to say how proud I am to see your growth personally and also in your business that you have built over time. Right. I know you have known me since I was 19 years old. Like we go way back. And I think it's truly inspiring how we're able to see each other grow from then and now.
Right.
And on Instagram, I see how inspiring you are, how dedicated you are, and how blessed you are to be able to make such an impact in people's lives.
Right.
And for me, I feel like you need to connect with people on a deeper level, which I see with you. So I'm definitely proud of you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course.
I mean, we do go way back, and you've seen the journey the whole way, but I'm proud of you too.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
it. Where we sitting at right now, this is your element right here. So
definitely, I'm just so blessed to be able to see of how much you've grown over time, and for me, I feel like I've used a lot of that in my own life, and then just make a difference in other people's lives.
Well, that's what we're here to do, is inspire each other.
Definitely. So the first question I have is that goes right into it. What inspired you to pursue your passion?
What inspired me to do this was that, for one, I was just tired of where I was at. I just knew that there was a bigger purpose of doing something. I always loved helping people in every way that I can. Always been into fitness, and then I was just on, a route in my life to find how can I implement my true passion, what I love, and then still use that to influence and inspire people to be better. So when I found this opportunity, that's when I went after it. It was like everything just made sense.
How old were you when you started the business?
28.
And how? If you want me to ask you how old
I'm 37 years young.
Well, you look amazing.
I'll be 38 in 4 weeks.
Oh, happy early birthday. That's honestly, that's inspiring.
Appreciate
so
it.
Another question, what sacrifices did you have to make personally in order to grow your business?
Man, the sacrifice is what gets you to where you need to go. So, letting go of everything that didn't bring no value to your life. So that meant the normal circle that you're used to being around, and, watching TV, and, just spending time doing nothing that wasn't really, aligned with where I was going. So sacrifices meant certain conversations, going out, spending certain type of money, having to sacrifice even family time, just to pursue it, because at the end of the day, your sacrifices, as long as you're going somewhere, in that time frame, you'll get to where you go, and then those sacrifices were everything were,
what old habits did you have to break? We all have habits that we're trying to break and grow from it. What do you feel like when you look back and be like, these are the habits I felt like were really hard for me to break, but now I feel like I've really worked on it and I see a bigger difference. So what habits would you say?
I would say, for one, your spiritual habits, you got to tap into that place, and whatever it is that people believe in, the spiritual habits, and getting consistent with getting connected, your eating habits, what you eat is what you are, so
exactly.
I had to change the eating habits of not eating what I want when I want, and just having that pattern in my life. And then, of course, the mindset habits of, taking full responsibility versus blaming or excuses, daily habits of, sleeping a lot. So there's just little things that I had to tweak as far as habits to. On the other side of it was like, okay, if I just slept less, I have more time to do more. If I ate better, I have a better body to present more. If I was connected to the higher power, to God for me is, then I'm aligned with exactly where I need to go.
When you were mentioning about God, because I feel like for me in my life, faith is really important to me. And when you don't have that foundation of why you started, I feel like when you don't have that faith with it, you kind of lose track of what's really important. And I feel like I've seen that in you of growing with God and putting God first, because God is going to align the right people in your life to help you overcome like certain obstacles. So I definitely could see like the mental growth, not just like the physical part. Because for what I was talking about my podcast before, I want to show people that there's more to it than just the physical, which that's how you get business. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like people want to hear the story. People want to hear what makes you different. What can you bring to the table that no one else can? And I feel like you've really grown and really put it out there of, I do more than just fitness, but also the health part, the business part, like being able to bring people on and build their own business. Like that is a huge thing. And you're able to be a good example for those people that are trying to build their own business. So I guess into business, while you're starting your own business, what obstacles did you have to face and overcome? Personally and also in Herbalife?
Personally, the obstacles I had to overcome was the challenges of, conversations of people saying that you change, and I always looked at it as being growth. When you're loyal to certain groups and people and, you can take what they say and be like, maybe I am changing on who I'm loyal to, right? But the loyalty is to what you want to do in your, the pursuance of what you want in life, so people are going to support you if they love you, and some aren't, and you just have to go with what you want. At the end of the day, man, your circle can be so big, and it can, at the end of it, it's just you.
Exactly.
Right. But the obstacle and challenges were, having to face what will people think if I was to go this route? The challenge was my own mental. Is this going to work? But that's where the faith comes in, and you're aligned with God's plan versus your own plan, and you just trust the process.
It's all about the quality over quantity. So of course, like, you have all these people in your life, but it's more of who are the people that actually enhance your life. Like, you have to look at the 5 most people that you hang out with, and are those 5 people that actually bring something to the table and help you grow. Like, it's not just getting something from them, but it's actually, let's grow together and build something different and build something amazing. Exactly. It's the values that go along with it. So the right people, you have to choose wisely who you let in your circle, because that could really affect. It's a reflection of you. Exactly. And I see that you have an amazing group of people. Like, you're so energetic. Like, when I see all the workouts, because you're posting nonstop, it's crazy. Like, I go, it's like, okay, there's RC working out. There, I know. There's RC working out. There's RC, on a business call. There's RC promoting. But it's great because you're passionate about it. It's not like you are trying hard to come here. I'm selling. It's more, it comes through the passion of what you do naturally, and you have a very good aura about you too.
Well, it's just what you do. I mean, you don't have to promote something like this, what you're doing right now. This is your passion. When you're in your passion and you're living in your purpose, there's no promoting. It's just naturally showing what you do in your normal life.
And you wake up and you feel amazing. It's like, I'm ready to take on the day. It's not just only about me. It's about inspiring other people to come along on my journey, because that's what makes you even happier. When you see someone walk on stage, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of this woman. I'm so proud of this man. Like, I've seen them from the bottom up, and I'm the one that can inspire them. So I definitely see that you do that for other people too.
It's the trust that you gain from people, because we're complete strangers, but then the trust of what you see in somebody that you pull out, because that's what I'm really passionate about, is seeing the great in someone and pulling that out of them so they can see it for themselves, and whatever avenue they take, they excel in it, but I don't need the credit of, dang, it's just more so being proud and just like, wow, this really happened once they tapped into, their own passion.
Potential.
Yeah, potential. Once you see it, you know, because someone can see it in you before you see it in yourself.
Exactly. And I was about to say that you had to build your own foundation.
Right.
Your own, like, you know, I know where I stand. I know what I want. I know what I'm shooting towards. I feel very confident in what I'm doing. So let's bring that confidence into other people's lives. Because if you don't have that confidence and you don't know what exactly you're trying to, I wouldn't say prove, but show, like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is what I'm embracing. I don't care if you come along or not. I'm still going to continue regardless if you're there or not.
Right.
Like, it's like, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. It's completely up to you. I'm not going to let your actions dictate how I'm going to react towards it. Because how you react towards things really says a lot.
Whatever you do, I love you, you know, and I support you in anything that you do. So being in what I've been doing, you know, for the past 9 years, you can't have an attachment to if people stay or go. You know, if you have an attachment to them staying or going, then you're keeping yourself stagnant. There's so many people in this world that you have not even reached and met and, you know, connected with, and to help them get to where they want to go, or them helping you. So like you said, bringing the value to each other. What is that you bring to the table for both of us to win in life?
Exactly.
You know, so.
And another question, what pivotal moment in your life has been the most life-changing or enhancing?
I'm going to tap back into being a kid, because I feel like everything of who I am today is because of those moments. You know, my dad has been in the hospital. He was in a car accident when I was 11, and then he's been paralyzed since. So at a young age, I had to learn how to take on responsibility. So the responsible side of me comes from that. You know, the awareness side comes from that. You know, my upbringing and how I had to grow up and, you know, be the bigger brother and, you know, father figure and, you know, just be a leader in life. You know, that's where it all stemmed from. And then me being a father, the day I became a father was the day that, okay, now I have to really see how life is. It's no longer just about me. It's about my seed. It's about my daughter, you know?
Exactly.
So those are both pivotal moments in my life that has, like, put me on a different track to be ahead of, you know, I would say the age group I was a part of at the time, you know, and just put me in the direction of where we're at now. Because I always think about, like, when I wake up in the morning, this is for my family. This is for my daughter. You know, there's no time to be lax. I haven't made it yet. So I think those moments is what shifted my mind to, like, get up and do more.
I think when you said when you were a younger kid, you were used to being that leader, like being the bigger brother, like having to take ownership of, like, being the example.
Right.
So I think that you use that, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, some people, I'm not saying if you're raised in a bad home or a good home, either way, like, you can come out completely different.
Yeah.
Like, you can be raised in a great home with great parents,
Right.
but the decisions that you make over time, it doesn't, you can't blame your parents for that. It's all on you. And I feel like a lot of people try and find excuses like, well, when I was a kid, my dad wasn't there for me. If I was a kid, my mom wasn't there for me. Or when I was a kid, I didn't have these opportunities for myself. But I feel like, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but majority of people try and find some type of excuse of, I didn't have this is why I'm not here. Instead of actually building.
They what I've always go by is, don't allow your circumstances to change your behavior. You know, so like my dad is the most positive, strong man. My mom, you know, they, no matter what was going on, they never spoke to us as if stuff was wrong for us to not like the other parent, you know, or not like things in life. They always saw the great in everything. So me being a kid at that time, I got to witness that. And even still to this day, they're the most positive and uplifting, supportive parents, you know. And you do change the patterns in your family, right? You do change the traditions, and it's up to you because you have your own mind. Exactly. But if you continue to follow what's in front of you, and you know this isn't it, but this is all you know, then that's where you go. But I just always knew that there was something more.
It's crazy because when I think I talked to you on Instagram when I was like 19, and then Kyle was trying to get me at the same time.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what this is. And
right.
when I got invited oh my gosh, it was a while ago, and I met you
To
for
the
the
event.
first time to the event. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is really awesome.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is just so energetic. And Herbalife is just like an amazing company. Like, firsthand, I have seen how uplifting and how just motivating it is to be a part of something that it's not just about yourself, but other people want to see you grow.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do you help people with like health and fitness, but you also help people build their own company to make an extra income in Herbalife. And I think that's just, I was like, this is awesome. Like, like I've never.
You don't find that anywhere.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, you have friends that uplift you, but I feel like when you're in a bigger room with like so much energy, it brings something different to you. It makes you want to do better. It makes you want to be around more people like that. And when I started a fit camp with you, I remember I was like, this is so cool. Like, everyone's so nice to me. Like, and then I just started working out, and I just built really good connections, and I started meeting other people, and they told me their stories about how they lost weight or the extra income, or how they just built a better foundation for them and their family. So me actually firsthand being there, and just not just being around you, but being around other people as well, I felt very welcoming.
Well, I think you've always been like a networker, because even though like we met and you were on the team, right? And you still are on the team.
Thank you.
But I would see you like at different places with different people. I'm like, and at such a young age, you know, so you being 19, still networking and building. This is why you're sitting here today. You know, it's put you in your position to be there. But that's the beauty of what Herbalife provides. It's not just the products or what people think. It's the community, it's the friendships, the relationships, the connections that you have inside of that, and the endless opportunities that it provides.
Exactly. And I love the workouts too, especially, you know, I've seen that you've always moved to different locations, but I've seen where you've started and be able to have your own nutrition place, to be able to make shakes, have lift off.
It started all at a park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, free workouts at a park.
That's awesome. So you just like give lift offs to people,
we would do free workouts at a park and then sample out products, but just bringing people together. And it was at 11 o'clock in the morning, where most people think nobody going to show up at that time. But we had like 40, 60 people out there at a park working out, you know, at 11 o'clock in the morning every day. And I would work 12 to 14-hour shifts and still get off and go do that, you know, because I was pressed for time. I gave myself 1 year to do this and be successful at it. You know, I made a promise to my daughter, and I just said, give me 1 year, baby. I promise you that life will be different in a year. And I was willing to sacrifice my sleep to go pour into people, because the more value you bring to the marketplace, the more success you have in life.
Exactly. Do you always feel that you've had, like, I mean, everyone has like some type of gift, like, oh, I feel like I can inspire people. Did you feel that already at a young age, before you started this business, while you were starting this business, that it came natural to you to be able to help people?
Yeah, I feel like everybody's born with a gift, you know. We all have a gift. We just got to find it and tap into it, and then learn how to give it, you know. As a kid, I just wanted to be an athlete. I always wanted to be some type of entrepreneur, or, you know, something that was going to pay me for what I love doing, you know. So that was that. But what I brought into Herbalife was the skills that I learned from all the jobs, the upbringing, and, you know, learning from the streets and all that stuff. Is just, you bring that skill into this, and then you develop your mind, you know, and from there, as you grow as a human, then you start to attract a bigger crowd of people, you know. And that's honestly just how it all happened.
I think whenever I wake up in the morning and I go through people's stories, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, okay, cool. You know, I just kind of go through stuff, and then I see yours, and yours is just like a line of like,
Man,
I have to, it's like I really got to go through, but it makes you actually watch everything, because I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on. But it really shows. Yeah, it's seriously, I feel like every day I'm like, okay, I already know what he's doing the whole day. Like, oh, how was your workout? Or how was this? And I feel like it's just really, it's just hard to explain that. Most people have to mentally really connect with themselves. Like for my podcast, it's all mental, physical, and spiritual growth. And I just didn't want to focus on just the physical part. I wanted to bring people on that are going to bring something different, more, I guess, life experience to share with me, so I can use that for myself.
Well, it's deeper than the physical body, you know. Like the physical is what attracts people's eye, but the spiritual, or, how you are on the inside is what keeps people around. So you
Exactly.
got the best looking body and, whatever you present on the outside and it looks good. But if you stay around somebody long enough, you learn exactly how they are.
Exactly. And
asking these questions that you're asking. So.
Well, it's funny because I'm a very talkative person, but in a good way, because I had to learn because you learn a lot more from listening than talking. And I felt like, to be completely honest, I wanted to start this podcast because I felt like I wanted to practice at the same time to hear people, what they're saying, and to react to be more in tuned with the moment. Because I feel like a lot of people are like, okay, what's going to happen in the future? What happened in the past? And you have to focus on just the present, embrace it. And sometimes we really don't embrace how far we've come. And it's like, you know what? Like, I'm working hard and I'm very proud of myself, but I also have to give myself credit. And I feel like the little credits that you give, like, I woke up this morning early at 4 a.m. Yeah, affirmations. I did my affirmations. I did journaling. I talked to 3 more people. It's like having these small goals really goes a long way.
And early in the day.
Definitely.
Because then you have all day to, you feel so accomplished. Like you said, you wake up, prayer, affirmations and, personal development. Whatever you do, you get yourself right before. But, like, I'm proud of you, man. You just always had this ambition and drive to want more. And I could just see the exploring of your mind. You're like, I'm going to go here and go there. You did fitness competitions. And I'm watching your journey as well. And then the positive, messages that we send back and forth. Like, we see each other. It's always good to, you may not be in my face, but we see each other.
I feel like even though everyone has their own lives going on, I feel like it's nice to remind someone, like, hey, I'm praying for you. I'm thinking of you. Like, I wish the best for you. Even though I don't talk to you every day, I see you.
But you see,
And it's like, I see you. I see what you're doing.
Right.
And I feel like that I'm trying to work on that more, of really reaching out to people and be like, I see you. You're doing well, because that one thing can change their lives.
Exactly.
And it's the little things that really go a long way with people.
People want to know that they're, at the end of the day, man, everyone loves recognition, support, and to be seen. Even though when you're driven, you don't really need it in the moment, but when people say, I'm proud of you, or just want to support you, it really gives you that more confidence. It's like, okay, they see me. I didn't think anybody saw me, but they're seeing me, so we see each other, and I just want to say that I'm proud of you.
I really appreciate it.
I'm seeing this, Lauren, level up with
It was
Lauren.
funny because I was trying really hard to, like, find a picture, and I have multiple.
That's a good picture.
We have multiple pictures. I was like, I have so many pictures. I don't even know what to choose. I'm like, that really looks, I'm smiling. I'm happy. Right. I feel great. My body looks good. Yeah. So
you really worked on your body, yo.
I'm in my
that's discipline, yo.
I'm in my off season right now. So my coach, I'm still following the meal plan. But Easter, they were making ham at home. And my mom's like, hey, do you want some? I'm like, no. I really want it, but no. Right. And then I'm like, no one's gonna see. I can just take it. I'm like, wait, no, I can't do that, because it's like, I always remind myself, what you do behind closed doors is more important than
what you eat in private is what you wear in public. So
yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Later on, it's gonna do me better, than it's like more harm for me doing that, because I want to build those good qualities. So I was like, no, I'll just have my dry chicken.
Well, that's the discipline,
Exactly.
You get rewarded for the work that people never saw.
So when it comes to clients and fitness and everything, I did have one question. What are the biggest mistakes you see your clients make that are holding them back from the results that they want? It can be health related or business related.
I don't think people make mistakes. I think they're just comfortable with what they know.
Like their habits.
Their habits. And it comes down to your daily rituals, your habits. And, if everybody understood, if everybody knew this, everybody would be in shape. If they knew that, okay, if I just give up this to get to eat this, because it's not about, the foods that we eat. It's about the consistency of what you eat, right? So, like you said, you wanted ham. If you'd ate that ham, your body would have bounced back quick, because you've been more consistent at eating great and working out consistently versus eating bad and not working out. So I think the biggest thing for a lot of my clients, right, and they're all great. I mean, for me, I don't think anybody, and I don't wrong anyone.
Of
If
course.
they're like, man, I cheated, coach, man, perfect. Tomorrow's day one again. You're going to have these moments.
Yeah, tomorrow's a new day.
Tomorrow's a new day.
You can't let it bug you. What happened?
Don't beat yourself up. So I think what it is just people's habits and what they're used to. And then also, like you said before, who you're around.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to be tempted, right? And a lot of things pop up, oppositions pop up. Like me as a sweet tooth, I love cookies. But I've learned to not eat them, because then my body, once I see the result, I'm like, okay, so I didn't have these results because I was eating that. But when they tap into that, then they become, their greatest self. But I think out of all of it is just discipline.
Mm-hmm.
There's
being
motivation.
Consistent.
Motivation lasts for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But the discipline takes you to where you want to go. So that's where, I don't need ham, I'm going to eat this dry chicken, right? And people think it's boring. Like, it's boring to eat the same stuff in routine, and I'm on a new meal plan. I lost 10 pounds.
That's awesome.
Not even knowing that that's what I needed to do, but, it's just the consistency of being consistent. That's what produces results. And then what backs it up to keep you going is your discipline.
Your sweet tooth is your chocolate shake, Herbalife.
Man, yeah,
that's the closest thing you can get to your sweet tooth. You got to be creative, right? Like, you know what? I can't have chocolate,
there's
but
options,
I can have my Herbalife. You have so many options, so many shakes.
You know what the easiest thing to do is? To just not buy it. You know, we don't buy it. We used to have the cabinet full of snacks, and it was like a habit to go to the store and not skip that aisle. Like, my mind is already like Oreos, cookies, sweets, and go to the aisle to pick it up and get the 2 for $5, and you get psyched out by the deal.
Exactly.
And then you have it in the house, so then the temptation is there. But if you don't have it around you, you can't eat it.
And even if you want it, it's like it's not there.
It's not
so you
there.
have to have something else anyways.
Have something else. So the longer, here's the thing with the clients. The longer you have to think about, what do I eat, when I'm hungry. And the longer you have to think, the faster it is to go get that fast food or the food that doesn't serve the purpose of you getting the result. But if you're on point schedule,
Yep.
If you're on point and you're on schedule, you already have the meal prepped, so you can't even think. It's like, go to the bag, heat up the food, eat it. You got your snacks, your whatever.
That's a good habit. Like you stay consistent. It's something that you do on a regular basis.
You just swap out a bad habit with a good habit.
Exactly.
Swap out a distraction with a good distraction.
I have, for my meal preps, I would literally, this is me. I'm very organized. So okay, 8 a.m. I have this.
Right.
2-3 hours later I have this. And it's like at the exact time I warm up my food.
Yep.
And let's just say someone says, oh, let's go out to eat. Oh, okay, let's meet at that time, but I have to bring my meal prep.
Right.
They're like, why? Like, it's not going to ruin anything. And it's like, oh, it will for me mentally.
Yeah.
For you, like, it's just so funny how people say that. Oh, nothing's going to happen. Right. But I'm like,
you work hard already. You deserve this. No, I don't. You don't know where I'm going.
Like, oh, trust me. Like, I do deserve it, but I see more for myself. And I feel like for me, I wanted to really mentally grow as a person and with my faith, because God is number one in my life.
Right.
And I wanted to add the spiritual part in there, because spiritual, it can be in different ways for different people.
Yeah.
But for me, when I started growing more with God and reading more books and just writing things down.
Yep.
And
that's key right there.
Exactly. And actually spending quality time with people. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, of course, when you have a business, you're going to be on your phone. You're going to be contacting people. You're going to have phone calls. That's completely understandable. But I've also learned to, when I'm with someone, to be in tune with the moment. Because then you're able to show that other person, I see you.
Yeah.
I'm putting my phone down, but I'm letting you know I'm here. Like, I'm present.
In the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like it goes both ways.
And you got to be...
people.
You have to be present, because we're so in tune with the phone. And I'm guilty of it. My business runs on the phone. Even when my daughter's talking to me, she starts to mimic what I do. Like, Daddy, this is you when I'm talking to you. And I'm like, dang. So she sees that I'm not fully present. So now I just phone down. Let's do something. Let's go to the basketball court. Let's
even
go
for 10 minutes, even for 5 minutes.
That's all it is. Just engaging with each other for a moment,
I think in this generation, don't get me wrong, like, a lot of people are doing businesses on their phones and promoting and stuff, and trying to find clients, which I feel like is amazing, because I'm doing the same thing. I'm promoting on Instagram. I'm sending out messages to people, but I also remind myself, like, if I really want to make an impact, like go out and meet people face to face, like actually have that physical interaction, because on the phone is one thing, but in person you can feel someone's energy. And energy is really important to me. Like I want to bring people on here that would be like, I know they have good energy.
It's all about energy, man.
Even when you first came in here, I'm like, I already know this is going to be great.
Man, I've got nervous when I walked in. I'm like, oh, this is official.
It's legit. Like
I saw the podcast, but you're not knowing what it's like until you get inside it. So. And
the first day when I started my podcast, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna get nervous.
Right.
But I'm like, that's okay. Like I want people to know, like I'm nervous. Like even the owner of the podcast studio said, if you're having a hard day, it's okay to tell people on your podcast, you know what, guys, I'm having a hard day today. I'm so nervous. But you know what? It's okay. It's a part of life. It connects to people.
Nobody's perfect. You show a perfect life, then it's like, this person's never having a bad day. There's days where I'm like, man, yo, I'm blessed and I'm happy today, but yo, I'm tired, but tired is a temporary emotion, so I get tired and because I slept 3 hours last night, but look, I'm up still, no matter what, same time every single day, so that's inspiring to someone that's like, well, I'm tired too, but dang, he just showed me that being tired is just a temporary emotion,
Exactly.
So it's just the mental, but being nervous means that you care.
It was crazy because before, when I first started Herbalife, I've always been an energetic person, but I suffered with anxiety, and I think how can I explain? Like I used it wisely to be around more people, but I think I had to learn how to control my inner self to know where I stand, know what I want, because anxiety can kind of mess with your mind sometimes, and it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I think now, from then to now, it's like a total difference. Like I feel I embrace it more. Yeah.
You're more mature. You learn, but you're ahead of so many people at the age of what you're at, right? I'm not gonna.
I'll be 26.
Okay, you want to put it out there, 26. So even me being 37, you 26. That's an 11-year gap difference, but we're connecting on that level. Why? Because we're on the same frequency. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So vibration and frequency and energy and all that amongst people, age don't mean nothing.
It doesn't.
And being, like it's your experience, in life, and you've experienced a lot in the time that you've started, from when we met 19 years old. I mean, that's what, 6-7 years.
Gosh,
but you've learned and grasped so much information from people in their experiences.
Exactly. When I was younger, as you mentioned, when you were a kid, you were like that leader. I lived in Germany for 4 years, and I had to learn a whole new language, and it was kind of hard. People really couldn't help me, so I had to learn to be self-disciplined on my own. So I used that at a young age, but I was able to experience so much at such a young age and have all these different experiences. I was like, wow, like life is really beautiful. Like you have to go out there and travel. And I see that, you're always traveling, posing, with your abs at the beach.
I gotta get the flicks,
Hey, whatever, works for you.
That's
like
what you work for.
Exactly. You got to show it off.
You got to.
So I was like, wow, like part of your company, you get to travel. You qualify for it. You travel, you have a great experience. And the business is more than just the physical part. Of course, the nutrition is 80%. It's the most important part. But the traveling is what makes it even more amazing. Like you really can't find that in any other business.
No, you got to come out. I mean, we come out of our pocket, but you got to come out your own. And Herbalife is so dope that they allow you to qualify and get rewarded for your hard work, because they want you to experience what life is really about, right? Life is not like, success isn't about money. It isn't about the status. It's about whole life success. Like all areas of life, how successful are you, in your happiness, your peace, your connection with God, your love, with your family and all that stuff, right? And then business comes along, and then the success is in there, and you're only successful of the reflection of successors that you have around you, but the traveling is a great. I never really cared for traveling. I never even had a passport. I didn't feel like if I got one, I wouldn't even have money to go.
Yeah.
Right. So Herbalife forced me to get one.
Which is good.
Right. So it's a good problem.
It was a good force. Yeah.
Now it's like automatic. Like we have all these other trips lined up, coming up this year, and I'm just, blessed with the opportunity to be able to do that, and then planning something for my daughter's,
That's amazing.
15th birthday to take her, baby, where you want to go?
Aww.
Right? And just
knowing that you can actually like do things, be like, I can do these things for you. And like you said, it's more than just money, but being able to use that as quality time.
Yeah.
Like I'm able to do these things that we can actually get to do together.
Together.
And you have that time because with your business, you can be with your family. You can, be able to travel. You can, you have a very, you're very flexible, and it's you get to have your own hours. You get to do what you want to do. And I know you're the type of person. It's like, I like being that leader.
Yeah.
It comes natural to you. I definitely could see that.
I can be the leader, but what's great about it is that I like to be in a group where no one knows who the leader is.
I like that.
Right? Because if I'm always in the front, then they're always looking at me, but I have great people amongst me, that are also great leaders. So if I just blend in, even though I get to stand out because of the way I think or my position or whatever, but I want to be in a group like for Go Hard Society, my gym, right? I didn't want people to know like you're the owner. I wanted them to know that I was with them,
I like that.
So being in there, nobody knew who the leader was, but they did know in a sense, like this guy is something. He's someone, but I didn't want them to be like, oh, he's the owner. I didn't want that attention. I just wanted to be, you own this too, and this is yours, and you're the leader, and take ownership. And and when you have that feel, nobody can identify who the leader is.
I feel like everyone's a leader in their own way.
Right.
Like you can be a leader in one way, but someone else can be like, oh, I can bring something to the table.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone has something unique. That's what makes it as one.
Yeah.
So I feel like leadership, of course, you have someone that you can go to help you grow, but then that person brings something more to the table. So I like how you said that. I like, of course, you like to lead people, but you also allow other people to lead
they
you.
Gotta shine. They have to. They're great in their avenues. I'm not like, if we're on the same team, right? You're great at podcasts. I'm not, so I can't be the one I'm always in charge. Leadership isn't power. Leadership isn't because you're at a status. It's how well you can lead people into being the greatest they can be in their. Like LeBron James, LeBron James is the leader. They know he's the man. It's LeBron James and the team, but he puts people in position to be their absolute best, and he doesn't overshine them. Even though LeBron is LeBron, he still brings the greatness out of everyone.
Every leader's still a student.
Right.
So you're always learning, you're always growing.
Always.
So like for me, even though I could be like, hey, I'm the leader, but I'm open, I'm humble. You have to stay humble, you have to stay open. You'll be like, you know what, let me hear what you're talking about. Let me take in what you're saying, because your way might be one way, but if you're not open-minded to other opportunities, you're gonna miss those chances of being able to grow.
Don't shoot the messenger, yo.
Yep.
You gotta. The message comes in different forms, and you're expecting it to come in a certain way, and you be missing it. It's coming from over here. It could be from a 12-year-old,
Exactly.
And a 12-year-old could be telling you something, and you're just ignoring it because, oh, you're 12, you don't know anything.
When you mentioned earlier about happiness, right?
Yeah.
I've always asked myself, like, what is truly happiness? Because a lot of people, happiness can be different definitions for everyone. And I was like, you know what? I want to have a fulfilling life.
Right.
Because I stopped saying I want to be happy. That's a very broad term for me.
Right.
And I think I changed the way I speak about things because it really makes a big difference. So for me, what I mean by having a fulfilling life is, let's just say you, I don't know, get a new home, get a new house, a new car. I'm not saying those are things that you've worked towards to be able to accomplish those things. But I feel like that can only make you happy temporarily in the moment.
Yep.
What's next? What is something that that's gonna enhance your life?
Yeah.
Since you get older, since you get married, there's things that you need to find that are really going to fulfill you. So for me, I was like, well, what does it really mean to be happy? I mean, happy can be buying new clothes. Happy could be this, but it's just a temporarily type of happiness. And I wanted something different where I'm like, you know what? This is great. This is more fulfilling for me. This is continuously growing with other people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I found it. I found something I can really use to bring other people along on my journey.
Yep.
And I feel like you are definitely someone that enhanced my life as well at a young age.
Yeah.
Because it's like you meet people for a reason.
You do.
You know, God always places certain people in your life to help you grow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you really helped me at such a young age to bring more energy out of me. And when I would hear your speeches, your talks about the business, I'm like, okay, interesting. Like I was trying to grasp how you, like, it's funny, you know, when you look at other people that you're inspired by, you're like you don't want to copy them, but it's like, I want something that you have, but I want to use that.
That's the whole,
for my business.
That's the whole point in what you do. You want people to see, because we're all mirrors to people, right? So you want people to see what it is inside of you that they can possibly have. So that's why people are connected. You know, you have an energy that I want. So how can I be next to you and absorbing that energy, right? You have a passion for podcasts and connecting with people. So I want to get there. So how do I connect with you and then also bring what I bring, right? And I see, you know, like for me, father figure. If people didn't have that father figure in their life, they see it in me, so they come connect. You know, if the older brother, the leader, the mentor, whatever figure I am to people, they come to me, right? And it's my job to identify it and then make them feel different from what they felt coming in, you know?
Exactly.
But happiness is gratitude, man. Like, you just got to be grateful for every single thing. You're alive, you're well, you're breathing, you got clothes on your back, you're able to buy clothes. We're sitting in this studio right now.
Exactly.
Like, I made it here safe. You made it. We all made it safe, you know. Him coming down and greeting me and making sure I parked in the right area. Like, everything is just full of gratitude. And when you tap into that, you find happiness, you know?
Exactly.
You're just such at peace because nothing bothers you. And when you have a purity of love in your heart, everything around you is just amazing, right?
It's crazy you say that, because when you're truly passionate about something and you pursue what makes you happy, you forget everything else around you. Like, I've noticed for me, I'm like, well, if this person doesn't want to be a part of my journey, it's completely fine. Right. And I think before I would allow people to kind of affect me. I'm like, oh, like, you know, maybe I should do this instead. Maybe I should do that. But you can't please everyone.
No, you can't.
And just like in your business, you can't please
everyone.
everyone.
You got too many people around you, man. And at the end of the day, trying to please everyone, you'll never be fulfilled, because there's too many personalities and too many different thinkers, you know, and people want certain things in life. And if you're here to cater to what they want, you can never serve your purpose because you're not aligned with what you want. At the end of the day, you're attracting people on the journey of what you're going after, right? So if my journey is to go after the greater purpose of what I'm going for, I'm going to attract people along the way. As I grow, I'm going to attract people on those levels, right? But if I stay down and just stretch myself thin, now I can't pour, you know, I can't give to people, you know, because now people are only going to receive the amount of like giving that you give based on what they are expecting. So if you give to somebody, they're expecting you to give more. You give your hand, they take your arm, you know, so you have to be willing to give what you can give and let people appreciate the fact that that's what you can give.
Exactly.
You know, and just keep it pushing, because those that want to ride with you come, and not everybody's meant to go where you're going. And
I was talking with someone about expectations. If you're going in with expectations of expecting something from someone, but you don't get it, you know, you're going to be disappointed.
Exactly.
And you can't go in thinking, oh, this has to happen, that's how it's going to go. And you can't control every part of your life. You know, of course, God has control. He's the one that has control of your life. But sometimes if you try and control every situation, you end up just getting hurt or disappointed because you want someone like, oh, I really need you here. I really want you to do this. And you end up just losing track of why you're actually doing what you're doing. And actually, I had one question in mind. I know you put a lot of quotes up, you know, inspirational things. But what I would say personally, what is one quote that really, I would say, gets to you, that really inspires you? Man, there's so many.
That's a tough one. I mean, it depends on mood. I would never get away from, you know, work harder on yourself than you do at your job, and you know, don't allow your current circumstances to change your behavior. You know, because I'm really big on like your character. right? People are connected to character. And I post a lot of inspirational stuff, but, you know, it's just tapping in to bring awareness. And I'm always big on, like, don't allow your current circumstances to change your behavior. Because at the end of the day, man, you can't control what you can't control.
Exactly.
You know, and you only tolerate what you tolerate. What you allow is what you tolerate. So if you just block it, know that it doesn't serve you, then you will never allow those circumstances to change you.
Exactly.
You know, your character at the end of the day, whether I'm up, I'm still smiling, I'm happy. Whether I'm down, you will never know.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the true character that people are connected to. Because when you're down, you tell the story. When you're up, they're like, man, I never knew. You know, nobody knows when you lay your head down at night.
No
and the thoughts that go through your mind and the tears that roll down your cheeks. But I use that as not sadness. I use it as like, man, I know I'm on the right track. You know, there's times when I cried in my club when everybody, bye guys, have a good night. And I would just sit there and just be in full gratitude of what, you know, my fiance and I created.
Exactly.
You know, the dreams that came true. And it's just like, I know this is a temporary moment and I'm only being tested to see if I can get through it.
You can't dwell on it.
Yeah.
You can't like put yourself down and be like, oh, this didn't happen, that didn't happen, because then you're gonna lose that chance of what you can do tomorrow.
Right.
And you don't want that to carry with you on to the next day, because if you keep having those same thoughts, like, oh, what happened yesterday?
Right.
Oh, I did this as a mistake. You kind of forget the people that you already have.
Yeah, you can't
along with you.
You got to be grateful for the ups and downs. You can't just you can't say I'm grateful when you have something great, you know, or new, or things are going well. You have to be grateful for every single moment that's happening inside of your life. And that's where you create separation of when people are, I'm so grateful, and then when it's down is you don't hear from them. Like, where's the gratitude? You got to be grateful for everything that you have.
Exactly.
You know.
Do you feel like, I don't know if you agree on this, but not letting everyone know your privacy, as in like some things are just better left unsaid?
Yeah.
I feel like that goes a long way. Not everyone deserves to know
you
your
don't
business.
Need to show. I show people exactly what they need to see. I don't talk about every single move. You move in silence. You know,
exactly.
Because it's not that you don't want to tell people, because you also want to do what you don't want the distraction, right? For me, I'll let people know where I'm going and what I'm doing in a bigger aspect of it, but the small details of everything, like, you don't need to know. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you when it happens, you know, but I'm not gonna show you every single small detail and everything that I do to give you access to criticize it or whatever. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I don't need it. So it's just like, yo, I'm going to, you know, to the top 1% of this company.
President's team.
Right? I'm going to president's team. That's all you need to know.
That's crazy.
I don't need to tell you all the details, because when I get there and it's my chance to speak, then I'll let the world know what it was that it took.
It's more intriguing because it's like not everyone deserves to know everything, but it's more intriguing because they want to, like, there's more to it. They want to, like, okay, what isn't he telling us? Like, I want to know more.
Anticipation.
And the anticipation. It's like, if you tell everyone everything, I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but it gives them something to look forward to. It's like, I want to hear his story. I want to know what he's doing behind closed doors. How is he getting to president's team? Like, what are the little things that he's not telling us?
I want people to feel like, damn, like, what is he doing? Like, how? And, you know, but if I tell you every single move that we're doing time for time, it becomes boring. It's just so predictable.
It's not realistic either.
It's like, okay, we know what you're doing. And
even if you give people like, okay, do this, this, and this, it doesn't mean that's going to work for them. Right. Everyone's different. Like, what worked for you worked for you. Exactly. Everyone is an individuality. So let's just say you're giving me advice, right? I can take it, but I'll use it in my way that works well for me. Right. If I just copy you, I'm not saying your way wasn't good. It's just everyone has their own way of doing things. Like, I'll love to hear your
the way. It's a way.
It's a way. Yeah, that's your way. That's what worked for you. And I feel like everyone has to find their groove, like find something they can stick to. And for me, when I'm always watching you regardless, like posting, like you're always posting something. So I'm like, oh, okay, here's RC. Like, you kind of get an idea of how people post. Right. You kind of know their, what is it called?
Flow.
Their flow. Yeah. And I feel like when you find a good flow and you know what you're posting and your energy, people know, oh, that's RC.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Go Hard.
Yeah.
Like right when they hear your name Go Hard, I already know it's you. When I hear Go Hard, I think of you.
Right.
Like Go Hard, like that's totally RC.
Yeah.
Like it's his thing.
I just want it to be that, you know, like when, you know, when I'm out or when people are out and my name is brought up, I want people to have something great. Not everyone's going to have something great to say, just whatever, you know, but when you see what you see on Instagram, I want it to be the same in person. Mm-hmm. You know, you see all these social media people who are just like, oh my God, and then you meet them in person, they don't even speak to you, you know?
Oh yeah.
And
their personality is completely different.
It's like camera only, and it's different. Like, man, you getting me. Like, you getting the naked me. You know, I'm just on the gram, and whether I mess up or speak different or laugh or whatever, you know, that's just what it is. So what you see on social media is what you get in person.
I like that because I've noticed, especially in this generation, when it comes to social media, they try and present themselves a certain way with perfection. I talked about that on my first podcast, how people try and have this perfection and wear this mask, be like, look at me, everything's great,
right?
Which is, you know, fine, but where's the substance?
Yeah, you can't be perfect all the time, you know.
Exactly.
Your body's not going to look. I mean, this is great. I mean, that's how you look, but people will see you in person and be like, yo, that's not really how you look. If you Photoshop a lot of stuff, you know, and there's no need to Photoshop. You put a little edit to brighten it up and all that, but, you know, but this is who you are. The smile, you know, the way you speak, the way you speak highly of everyone, and, you know, all that stuff is your character, you know.
One thing I've learned about character when I was growing along the way, I really made a difference how just being happy for other people, like it's not all about me. When I see other people actually succeeding, it really truly makes me realize like this is what happiness, that definition is, of when you see other people happy and it makes you happy, it like truly goes a long way. So there was another question to end this podcast. What message do you want to send out to the people watching this? A lesson that has helped you get to where you're at right now?
I would just say, whatever it is that you're pursuing in life, just never quit and never allow other people's opinions dictate where you're going. You know, if it's for you and you know it's for you, then you go for it. You know, along my journey, you know, you're going to face a lot of like doubt, you know, and non-supportive people that you would like to support, or, you know, downfalls where things aren't working as perfect as you want it to be. And don't be attached. So have zero attachments to whether the things that you're aligned with or going for don't go as planned. You know, things happen. It's going to be a smooth ride and it's going to be a bumpy ride. You know, it's going to be great highs and it's going to be some lows, you know, and you got to be able to adjust in the time, just like the times that we're in right now. Like, a lot of people are focused on the problem versus finding a solution.
Exactly.
You know, and if you're always solution based and finding the adjustments to not change the route of where you're going, but just adjust as you go, you know, it's like a pit stop with the car. Like, you always got to fine tune it to get it back up and running to win the race, you know. So I would just say, stay in your lane, you know, have zero distractions, you know, because we create our own distractions. And,
that's true.
You know, like I said, what we allow and we know is our distraction, it could be the person that you love most.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, but you just have to stand strong in what it is that you're doing, and, you know, just not allow the outside world change the direction of where you're supposed to be headed.
I know successful people like focus on, like you said, finding a solution.
Always.
And I feel like a majority of people nowadays just like drama. It's
all
so
the
true.
time.
Like on Instagram, you're looking for drama. You're
all
looking
the
through
time.
the comment section. You're seeing what people are saying. Like, there's like, regardless if you're doing well in your business or you're just, you know, staying steady, people are going to be saying things regardless.
All publicity is good publicity, you know, whether it's good. I could be talking bad about someone, right? We could be talking bad about someone right now, but in your head, you're like, man, this is interesting. If you got time to really talk bad about this person that you don't even really know, I'm curious to know what this person is about.
Actually, I'll feel great because they're paying attention to me.
Right, they're paying attention.
Like they're actually like, wow, you know me better than the people that actually do like
right.
me.
So it's all publicity. It's great publicity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people that speak positive, of course, is highly. But you want people to talk about you.
Yeah.
You know, LeBron James is the most talked about athlete in the world. Why? Because there's people that don't like him. There's people that love him. You know, I love LeBron, so I'm a LeBron fan.
Do.
But
I've noticed.
That's just what it is, you know, and you want all that, and that's what people have to be okay with, is being okay with that part, because your name is going to be out there even more. That's how a lot of these social media people get rich off of YouTube and all this stuff, because it's people like, man, did you see this? Go look at this. Oh my God. And it's like just passed along through people, right? And then like your podcast, I'm sure is going to get up to the 1 million views and all that stuff, right?
That's my goal.
I'm going to look back and be like, man, I was on that podcast. You know, Lauren is making it. But the perseverance and resiliency and tenacity and consistent, all those words is what keeps you driven. So just stay connected to that and always put God first.
I love that. And for my podcast, I mentioned on my first podcast how I didn't know where to start, and you just got to start. And I feel like there's never a right time to start something. And I feel like a lot of people wait until it's the right timing. No, I don't look good. I can't do it yet. You know what? No, give me like another 2 weeks and then I'll do it. And I'm like, you know what?
Man, you would have been so far ahead if you just started then. You know?
Well, you know, everything happens at the right time. And I felt like mentally, I'm more prepared to be able to start this podcast. And you never should rush into anything.
Exactly.
You should always take your time to build. And I notice with patience, a lot of people don't have patience.
Yeah, that's the key one right there. Patience.
Patience with anything, which is even traffic.
Right.
They go crazy. Just put some good music on. Listen to a podcast. Like
you'll get there, you know.
Exactly.
You can't control it. It's like, don't be mad at traffic, you know, because there's people on the sideline that's not in a car. That's something you got to be grateful for. Is be grateful you're in a car that you can pay for and be in traffic, because people are sitting on the sideline wishing they had a car to be in traffic. You know,
so many people complaining.
We complain about the littlest stuff, man.
Things that are not even going to be important in the like later on. It's like you end up forgetting about it. What you're complaining, like, what did we even complain about? Like,
whether you late or on time, man, just leave earlier or whatever. But you know, you made it safe at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, anyways, I want to say thank you so much for being here. I'm truly blessed to have you and a lot of people in my life to really inspire me.
Right.
And I can't wait to grow my podcast and have
it's grown
more people.
Already.
Oh, thank you.
It's already growing.
Thank you.
You're here, so it's a good thing.
You're present. You're here. That's what's important. Like no one else, nothing else matters. So I just want to say thank you so much for talking about your journey and about hearing about your success. And I just want to say I wish you the best.
Appreciate it.
And I'm praying for you. Your president's team. Like I saw you all, you know, dressed up in your suits all the time, like bling bling with your shoes. Like
the glow
I
up,
see, yeah. But what's really amazing is like I know you as a person. Like of course, you're showing everything that you can, you know, buy and stuff. But what I see is you're using it wisely. Like there's a way that you're doing it where it's like you're showing I'm working hard, but I'm working for this.
Right.
But I have other people that are coming along. So I just want to say congrats.
I appreciate it. Congrats to you. Thank you for this opportunity and time. And
thank you.
I wish you the best as well.
So everyone stay tuned for more Level Up with Lauren.
Level Up with Lauren.
Thank you.